Hello all. Today we're going to be talking about the CB-X75, NSO's main carbine, and also arguably probably their best carbine. So the CB-X75 is your close-range carbine option on NSO. Obviously your CB-100 is your starter, your CB-200 is your long-range carbine. Your X75 is your close-range carbine. However, it has such good traits that you can honestly use it pretty much everywhere, and it's just really, really good. It is extremely easy to use, it kills quickly, it has good recoil, it's just a good carbine. Unfortunately, you'll need to cough up 1,000 certs for it, but, you know, for 1,000 certs, it's a pretty damn good weapon. So, the CB-X75, well, I'm just going to call it the X75 from now on because it's a bit of a mouthful, let's be real, is your standard 800 to 143 carbine. However, what makes it special in comparison to, say, the VX6 TAC-7 is you get 15 meters of max damage range. This is a lot for a carbine with this amount of DPS output, and you can take soft point to make this 20 meters, which is really, really good. Unfortunately, you drop off to 100 meters, but you're probably not going to be using this thing at 80 meters, so, or, it's not really a big deal. Your muzzle velocity is actually on the good side at 500 meters a second. It's also tied with the CB-100 in that regard. Your reload speed is quick at 2.45 long, 2.15 short. Your ammunition is fine at 25, and your hip and aim stats are generally good. It's just a good, well-rounded carbine that has good damage output, and it's super easy to use. It is honestly probably the best carbine available to this faction right now. In terms of how you would build it, I personally think you could really build it for either aim down sights or hipfire. It's good either way. For your sight, I would only take a 1x. You can make a 2 work, but honestly, picking a 3.4 is just kind of throwing. On the barrel, I would personally lean towards the hipfire build. Because the DPS is so good, and your hipfire accuracy is good, and your reload speed is snappy too, you can make a hipfire build work very well on this gun. So I would personally pick the short barrel. That said, if you want the flash sup or the regular sup, be my guest. In the rail, you can also take whatever you'd like. If you're going for an aim down sights build, taking the angled with the forward grip is fine. I personally recommend the laser if you're going for the hipfire build, but, you know, it's up to you. Extended mags, I would probably not pick because it's only 5 rounds. And unless you're quad headshotting, this is not going to gain you an extra kill per magazine. In general, I would say the benefits offered by a grip or a laser is stronger than the benefits offered by the extended magazine. And in your ammo slot, take soft point. You know the drill. If soft point is available on a gun, you will pretty much always take soft point. It's just that good. So, while it states this gun is built for close quarters combat, which it certainly is, it definitely works out farther. The recoil is generally very comfortable to use and very good even if you're not taking any recoil attachments, and if you have the short barrel on it. It's just a super nice, reliable gun. And it's, you know, it kills quick, it's easy to use, it's easy to shoot. It works pretty much anywhere. It's just a very good carbine. It's extremely versatile. And unlike the CB-100, you don't give up DPS for that. So, into primetime Osher, it is currently 7:17 PM on Connery for the live section. And unfortunately, it is Osher. But you know what? That's how it is sometimes. Here's hoping this interlink heats up, but it sure is an interlink, so it probably will not. Also, one thing that I should note about the CB-X75 is it has 0.75 ADS. This is very, very good. For those who are unaware, most weapons of Plan Side have 0.5 ADS. This means you move at half your standard walking speed while you're aiming at sights. The CB-X75 and certain other guns have 0.75 aim down sight speed, which means you move at 75% of your regular move speed when aiming down the sights, which is very, very good. This helps you exploit client side. It means you're harder to hit while you're aiming. It's just a very, very nice trait to have in general. And given that this gun can be built totally viably while just aiming down sights, it's a very, very welcome trait to have on such a versatile weapon. You probably won't be using it too much because you'll still be hipfiring most of the time. At least I mostly hipfire most of the time. But it's still a very nice trait to have, and it's never ever going to get you killed. It will only benefit you and help you win engagements. So, you know, it's just, this weapon has so many things going for it that it's hard to, like, say, you know, what's bad about it. Sure, the damage drop-off is a little harsh, but you still get 20 meters of max range, which is amazing. And, you know, if it had more, it would probably be on the verge of overpowered. It's just a well-rounded carbine that kills quickly. It is exactly what a good carbine is for close range. It's very versatile, it's very effective, it's just good. I cannot believe it took me that long to pick up that infiltrator. Unfortunately, this is just turning into a spawn room camp because it's an interlink, but there's not really anywhere else to go, so I guess we will have to put up with it. So, because the CB-100, the X75, fires such a high rate of fire, this means you pretty much always win engagements, as long as you're headshotting. And even if you're not headshotting, you still are on the higher end in terms of DPS, which is, of course, very good. So, not only is the weapon extremely easy to use, but it's extremely rewarding if you have the skill to land headshots, especially with 0.75 ADS being offered. It's just a really, really solid carbine. Honestly, I do believe it is the best carbine available to the NSO. You can make arguments for Newton, but for most players, honestly, the X75 will be great. It actually reminds me a lot of the Bandit on NC, if you would like a comparison. Sure, they're within two different damage models, but they're both very snappy close-quarters carbines that get access to 0.75 ADS, and are good enough to use at range, owing to their recoil patterns. It's just a great carbine. I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. If you're going for your NS carbines or Axiom, and, well, it's not like you have a lot of choice, but definitely make sure you do the CB-X75 here. It is such a good option, and it is honestly the highlight of the directive grind. Yeah, I was gonna die there. I wanted the kill. I was a little kill hungry. Sue me. Unfortunately, there's still nowhere else to go. Pain. So I guess we're just gonna have to keep farming the interlink, because, you know, that's how live gameplay goes sometimes. Sometimes you just get not very good fights. And, let's face it, it's Connery. Did I really expect anything more? So, on the whole, the CB-X75 is just a really good carbine. I mean, I've said everything I need to say on it. It is extremely versatile, it is extremely useful, it has great niches going for it, like 0.75 ADS. It's just a great carbine. And, unfortunately, because of how good it is, it really puts the CB-100 and 200 to shame. Because the X75 will, in 95% of situations, just flat out do better than the 100. The only downside for this gun is that it costs you 1,000 certs to get, which is standard weapon purchase price, so it's not even a real downside. It's just a great carbine. Like, there's only so much I can say on it. It's just a really, really good gun. And I've been blown to pieces by friendly C4. Unfortunate. Alright, it looks like there's a fight going on at 10 AM power. Base I've never fought at before, because Osher is usually a I choose to log out continent, but, you know, at least making these little reviews means I have to play on Osher. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue playing with this gun for a little bit, show you how it is for, you know, an average player in an average fight on a subpar continent, but you know what, it is how it is. So, I mean, I've said everything I can say on this gun. It's good. It's really good. So now I do want to talk about the reviews. It seems like people are really liking them. Are there any guns you think I should be covering? I have the next batch kind of made up. So the next batch of reviews, in no particular order, will be Revenant, Tengu, NS11C, Pilot, and Punisher. I also have a big master list of guns I just kind of want to cover in general. So, but that's going to be the next 5. So, but if you'd like to see me cover a particular gun, please just let me know. Preferably have it be on Vanu or NSO, because I'm much more familiar with those factions than NC or TR. Unfortunately, that's just because I don't really play NC or TR. I was a Vanu main until 2020, and now I'm an NSO main. That's just the way it is. I'm that kind of player that just likes to log in and grind directives, so, you know. But I've been really happy with the reception to the weapon reviews, because, you know, I put out the MKV and Kappa videos like a year and 2 years ago now. And they were doing pretty well, and I decided, well, why don't I try doing YouTube content? Yeah, and here I am, and it seems like people are really enjoying it. So, if you have any pointers, any ideas for how you think I can improve, what I can do better, suggestions for the channel in general, please feel free to let me know, because, you know, I will always appreciate it. But realistically, I'm just gonna be blunt here. The live edit, not the live edit, but like the live part of these videos will probably not cease. I absolutely despise editing. And honestly, I think showing people what the gun looks like, you know, in an average environment from an average player in live gameplay is just a good way to represent a weapon, you know? Sometimes it's just not going to be perfect. So, that part will probably stay. But if there's any other things you could suggest me to improve on, or things that I can do differently, or other, like, maybe games or kinds of content you want to see, please feel free to let me know. I would appreciate greatly, and I appreciate it greatly for obviously everybody watching and commenting. Like, it seriously means a whole lot to me. So, thank you very much. Unfortunately, this fight is not that great. I mean, I'm doing pretty well at CB-X75. I mean, I'm 18 for 6 right now. Mostly because of that massive farm. Man, I hate that it's just deploy, but, you know, the actual spawn isn't set up yet. I've totally forgotten what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I really appreciate everyone that's been, you know, watching and commenting and saying things. It generally means a lot. I know I'm some small brain, no game YouTuber here, just making videos on shitty guns, but, you know, it does really mean a lot, so thank you all. Especially, you know, those of you who stay around and hear all my dumb shit as it comes straight from my brain to my mouth. So, yeah, that was completely unrelated to the X75, but, you know, I don't think there's much more I can honestly talk about with this thing, other than keep saying, it's good, you should use it. If you don't use it and you play NSO, light assault, you're kind of dumb. It's just that good. So, I hope you don't mind my little rants every now and then that I have in these videos, so. I guess, realistically, once I die, we'll probably call it. I don't know. I guess I'm 12 minutes in. Yeah, I guess once I die, we'll probably call it. And yes, you probably did just hear me alt-tab to check OBS. So. The production value is quite low, but I try my best. Well, that's not a very ceremonious way to go out. So, alright, well, just a short little recap. CB-X75, great. It's just good in every regard. Honestly, it should be your go-to carbine on NSO. It's that good. Super reliable, super nice to use, kills quickly. It's such a good carbine. I really cannot overstate just how good of a carbine it is. So, thank you all very much, and I will see you, realistically, I'll probably see you tomorrow. So, bye.